Hello and welcome to homework 8.04. This is our second homework on kind of distribution and double distribution, and it's just one of those things that it's an important topic, so we want to make sure you're getting plenty of practice on it. All right, so again, when you have these binomials times the binomials, we're basically distributing twice. We distribute once with this first piece here, so x times x is going to give us x squared. X times negative 2 is going to give us negative 2x. 5 times x is going to give us a plus 5x. And 5 times negative 2 is going to give us a negative 10. We'll combine our like terms. Negative 2 plus 5 is 3x. And then that would be our final answer for this one. Again, so you're distributing the first piece, you're distributing the second piece. All right? And again, I think it's helpful just to kind of do them one at a time and make those arcs as you go so that you don't miss anything. So like here, we have 2x times x, which remember it's really, there's ones here, so this is 2x to the first times 1x to the first, so the 2 times the 1 is still 2. X to the first times x to the first is x squared, and then we can go from there. 2x times 3 is going to be 6x. 5 times 1x is going to be 5x. 5 times 3 is going to be 15. So 2x squared plus 6x plus 5x plus 15. We combine our like terms, and we get 2x squared plus 11x plus 15. Okay. Moving on to number 3. Again, it's a lot of just kind of getting this process down, because most of these problems are very similar. X times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. We combine our like terms, and we get x squared plus, now this is going to be 1x, so you could either write it just as x minus 6, or if you want to have the 1 in there, either one of those is fine. Okay. All right, we move over here. The 3 times the 2 gives us a 6. The x times the x gives us the x squared. 3x times 4 is 12x. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10x. Negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. All right. We've got our like terms here. 12 minus 10 is just going to be 2x minus 20. Okay. All right, now these bottom two are ones that usually cause problems, because people just want to take this exponent and say, oh, it's going to just be x squared and 5 squared. But what you have to remember is x minus 5 in parentheses squared is really x minus 5 times x minus 5. And then we have to do everything that we've just been doing. So x times x is x squared. X times minus 5 is minus 5x. And then the same thing down below here. All right? Negative times a negative is going to give us a positive. Now again, a lot of times kids just want to cancel these out, but negative 5 minus 5 is actually a minus 10x plus 25. All right? So let's practice another one of those. 2x minus 3 squared is really 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3. And then we have to go through the process. So 2 times 2 is 4. X times x is x squared. 2x times minus 3 is a minus 6x. This is going to give us another minus 6x. And then this negative times a negative is going to give us a positive 9. We'll combine those like terms and get 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. Okay, let's take a look at the back. All right, one last of these squared problems. So again, 3x plus 1 squared is 3x plus 1 times 3x plus 1. And then we're just distributing. So 9x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 1. Combine your like terms, and you end up with 9x squared plus 6x plus 1. All right. Number 8. All right, so we're back to just having both of them there. X times x is x squared. X times minus 6 is negative 6x. 6 times x is a positive 6x. And then 6 times negative 6 is a negative 36. So on this one, they actually are going to cancel out, because negative 6 plus 6 is 0. We're not going to write 0x. We're just going to write x squared minus 36. So these middle two terms are sort of dropping out, and you're going to see that happens whenever you have like plus and minus the same number, as long as the fronts are also the same. So if we look at this next one, the fronts are the same. We have plus a number, minus the same number, so we should expect the middle to drop out. Let's see if it does. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times minus 1 is minus 2x. 1 times 2x is plus 2x. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. And then look, those two are going to cancel out again, so the middle is just going to sort of drop out, and we're left with 4x squared minus 1. And here's just sort of one last example of that. So 4x times 4x, 16x squared. 4x times negative 5 is negative 20x. 5 times 4x is a positive 20x. 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. So again, what you're going to see here is that these middle two terms are going to sort of cancel each other out. We're going to get 16x squared minus 25. All right, last two problems. Now, these are similar to what we just did. They're just a little longer because we have a binomial times a trinomial, but it's the same process. 3x times 2x squared is going to be 6. And then remember, when you're multiplying letters, you add the exponents. So x to the first times x squared is x cubed. 3x times 5x is going to be 15x squared. And then 3x times minus 1 is minus 3x. And now we do the same thing down below here. Negative 2 times 2x squared is minus 4x squared. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10x. And then negative 2 times negative 1 is going to be a positive 2. All right, so we've got all our terms here. We've got like terms right here because they're both x squareds. And we've got like terms right here because they're both x's. So when we combine those, this is just going to come down and stay the same. 15 minus 4 is going to give us plus 11x squared. And then negative 3 minus 10 is going to give us minus 13x. And then the plus 2 is just going to come down. All right, and notice when I'm combining like terms, I don't do anything with the exponents. It just stays x squared. The exponents only change when you're kind of multiplying or dividing the letters. When you're adding or subtracting, they just combine. All right, so let's try one more of those. That's the last problem on the sheet. All right, 2x times x squared is going to be 2x to the third, because again, this is x to the first, so x to the first times x squared. 2 plus 1 is the 3 there. We've got 2x times 3x, that's going to be 6x squared. 2x times negative 2 is minus 4x. And then again, we'll do the same thing down below here. Negative 7x squared, negative 21x. And on this last one here, a negative times a negative is going to give us a positive 14. So we have like terms here, and we have like terms here and here. So the 2x to the third comes down. 6 minus 7 is negative 1, so you could either write that as minus x squared, or if you want to have the 1 in front, that's fine too. And then negative 4 minus 21 is going to be negative 25x, and then because there's nothing to combine the 14 with, that just comes right down. All right, so that is the end of homework 8.04. I hope this was helpful, and have a good day.